Well, hey bosses, have you ever wondered if you should be using hashtags on Instagram stories? Or maybe you're wondering if you should be using hashtags over on Facebook, or maybe you're looking for a strategy for following and DMing and commenting and reacting to people on Instagram to get more followers. We're going to be answering this and more in today's live broadcast, social media, Ask Me Anything right here on YouTube Live. Every single Wednesday, we go live at 10 a.m. Eastern for 20 minutes to get your questions answered, and we have people write in advance and join us live. So if you're joining us live, go ahead, pop those questions in. I would love to get those answered for you, and we're going to take a look at some of the ones that have come in earlier this week so that we can get your questions answered. So let me go ahead and pull our first one up. Alexis wants to know, should I be using hashtags on Facebook? Well, this is actually a really interesting one because with Facebook, they give us the ability to use hashtags, but nobody uses them. They don't really do very much. So we have those active hashtags, but we don't treat them like we do over on Instagram. So I'm going to say no. Don't use hashtags on Facebook. There's no point. People don't react to them the same way on Facebook. People are not searching. They're not exploring that way on Facebook. It's simply not how the platform works. And so using them over on Facebook does nothing for you. And it kind of looks like you pushed your content from Instagram over to Facebook, which will then make people stop looking at your Facebook content because they assume you don't care enough about your Facebook to actually put your own content on there individually. So I recommend not using hashtags. Now, every once in a while, you will see me use a hashtag, and that is for emphasis. I don't do it for searchability. I don't do it for people who are looking through things and exploring things and looking for my content. I do it because it's kind of a snarky little add-on to my caption. So usually it's at the end or it's at the end of a sentence, and I'm using it more as a snarky comment or a sarcastic comment or a witty comment than anything else. And so once in a while, you'll see me use a hashtag on Facebook. It's specifically as commentary. So no, do not use hashtags over on Facebook. It does you no good. It doesn't help you, and it could actually potentially hurt your account. We did have some fabulous people writing in this week, checking out some of our most recent videos. And I'm just looking for the one that I need here. There we go. I've got things numbered, and I got to pull them up for you guys. But if you're joining me live, I would love to get your social media questions answered. You can talk about Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, IGTV, TikTok, YouTube, your newsletters, your websites, your blogs, all those fun, fabulous social media things so that we can chat about what you need to grow your business profitably through smart social media marketing. Scott joined us this week over on our YouTube channel. He says, awesome work. I get the feeling you're going to blow up. You're really good. Well, thank you, Scott. I appreciate it. I love all the shout outs. Thanks for hanging out and checking out our very first episode of the Social Media for Bosses talk show. We were talking all about how you can get client testimonials that actually get people to buy your product or your service more. So go check that one out if you guys have not seen that yet. And Scott, thanks so much for hanging out. Appreciate you being here as we are building out the content here on YouTube. And if you've got a question, you can go ahead and you can get those dropped for me. Melanie wrote in this week and she says, most of my live broadcasts are in the evenings when there's no natural light. What should I do for good lighting? Okay, this is a great question. Typically, when I'm talking to people and they're asking about light, I tell them use natural light. Get in front of a window, get in front of a light, but sometimes that's simply not going to work, like when you are recording at night. So at that point, you're going to need to use some artificial lighting. And here's what you need to know about this. Artificial lighting comes in a couple different colors. You do not want a yellow light bulb. You want a white light bulb. So the very lowest, basic, most easy thing you can do is to get a white light bulb and stick it in your lamp and put it next to you. Put it right in front of you so it's shining directly on you. You want that flat light, not the side lighting. And a white light bulb is going to help. Take the lampshade off if you need to. Now that is the most basic, lowest version of this possible. I do recommend you actually go ahead and you get an artificial light, and that's going to be either an umbrella light or a ring light. Now, I have both. As a professional photographer, I've got all of them, the soft boxes and the umbrella lights and the ring lights and all the things. For you guys, I do recommend the ring light. Ring lights are really, really good. They're a little bit more expensive than the umbrella lights, but they give off way more power. You can get that straight on natural light, and you actually, for the most part, it'll be on a tripod stand. And they usually come with like a little tripod piece where you can either attach your camera or your phone to it. So it's like a little circle. And actually, I've got a tiny one here. Let me show you this one. This is my tiny little one. I take this when I travel. And you can see how it's got those different availabilities. I've got them on my stands for my phone. So I've got tripods that sit on my table. And I will have ring lights on those. But I have a big ring light, which is what I use when I'm here in the studio, on location, in the office, whatever. And I only use those little ones if I'm traveling and I can't bring my big one. But I do have a big one. It is right in front of me right now, so it's giving me that natural light. I do have two windows, one in front of me, one to the side of me. The light you're seeing is coming from that ring light up there. And I highly recommend those. You can get them on Amazon. They're really, really very cheap. And if you want my recommendations, you can actually go over to camrobinson.com/tools. And we'll take you to the website over there. And on the website, I've actually got links to all of the ring lights, the umbrella lights, the things that I recommend. So you can check those out. I know some of them are occasionally unavailable. So if they are, it's the same type of thing. You just search for it and it will pop up with other solutions on Amazon. I do recommend that you are making sure when you're buying these ring lights that you're getting the ones with the stands. Sometimes they sell them and it looks cheaper because they don't have the stands. But if you don't have the stands, you don't have anywhere to set this up. I do not recommend the clamps. You do not want to clamp it on a desk or something. You want the actual tripod, so it needs to stand on your floor. And then you can buy that from there. And it's adjustable, so you can go up and down with it. I actually just recommended this to a co-host for a new show of mine, and hers bends, which is really interesting. So for me, I would say get one of the ones with the normal tripods, not one of the ones with the bendies, because if it bends, sometimes it won't necessarily be centered when you're putting your cameras on it. But it also helps to like move things around. So really, I guess it's up to you. I prefer the straight up and down stands so that you don't have to deal with any potential weirdness going on there. But let me know if you guys have ideas for natural light. Go ahead and let me know. You can always use the reflectors. We do have videos on creating natural reflectors and reflectors for under $2. So you can check those out. You can use those in the photography world as well. You can check those out on Amazon. But I do recommend the ring lights for you guys. Or backup to that is the umbrella lights. And in that case, I would buy two of them. And instead of putting them on the sides, I would put them in the front. So one's this way and one's this way. So it's almost like it's flat light. Otherwise, you want it directly in front of you so that you don't have harsh shadows on your face as you are broadcasting. All right, let's move on. And if you're joining us live, I would love to get your questions answered. We are here live on Wednesdays for 20 minutes every Wednesday at 10 a.m. Eastern, answering your social media questions in real time, getting those answers for you guys. And Rochelle hung out over on our YouTube page today. She's loving this series. We were talking all about Instagram Live. Right now, we're doing an Instagram Live series, which is amazing. And you're motivating me to go live on IG. I need a kick in the butt. Well, hey, girl, I actually might have something for you. Stay tuned. Big things are coming. And I might have a little plan. I'm pretty excited about this one, but stay tuned. And I'm really glad that you are enjoying our Instagram Live series. We do have more videos coming out. In fact, later this week, we are actually dropping a brand new video all about how you can do Ask Me Anything, just like this one over on Instagram Live, how that's going to work for you, because it's a little bit different than how it works here on YouTube or over on Facebook. I'm really excited to break this down for you. And we just dropped a video all about how you can do interviews with other people on your Instagram without being in the same room as them. So you make sure you want to check that out. It's really super helpful. And let me know if you've got more questions on Instagram Live, going live on Instagram. I would love to get those answered for you guys. Rochelle also hung out, and she says, great live. She watched last week's live AMA. She says, hopefully I'll catch it next week. Do you use a software platform for going live? Rochelle, yes, I do. I use a platform called BeLive. I talk about it all the time. BeLive is fantastic because it lets me put things on screen. It lets me pull up user comments. So if people are joining me live, I can toss those up on the screen, both on Facebook and on YouTube and on Twitch, actually. And they let me do backgrounds. They let me do overlays. They let me put words on the screen. They let me pull user comments. I get to share my screen. I can put up imagery like your comment right here. I can do all sorts of amazing things with this. I really, really enjoy the BeLive platform. I've worked with them for a number of years since they were in beta. I've done some work for them as a company, as a blog. I've done some sponsory things for them. So I highly recommend them. They are the platform that I use and recommend to my students, and I use it myself. There are some other platforms out there, but I feel like for what we're doing, this is the best value you can get. It gives you the most options. It's the most user-friendly. It's literally just clicking buttons. You don't have to figure it out. It's not a lot of tech like some of these higher-end companies have. And you can do so much with it. Like, there are very, very few limitations. They're connected to Facebook. So anytime Facebook's algorithm changes, or it's a platform addition or whatever, they are the ones to fix it first. And they have really great communication with Facebook. So should there be an issue, you're able to do things. I know for a while we weren't allowed to, still aren't allowed to be live streaming in a specific way inside of groups on Facebook. And because they have this connection, they actually got around it, and they can do some extra things, and they can get things happening that you can't do through the native platform or through other platforms. So I highly recommend Be Live. I've got a great video on Be Live. Their brand new Studio 2 came out a few months ago. I did a tour of it, so you can actually see the buttons on how it works, and you can check it out before you try it. And if you do want to try it, you can go over to kmrobinson.com/tools, because I got a little some for you over there. Get you some free trials and some fun things. So go check that out. Be Live is the place to be when it comes to live streaming on Facebook and on YouTube and on Twitch, if you do that as well. And they actually have some brand new features that they are going to be adding for YouTube in the next couple of weeks. I'm actually, I work with them on their beta team to test things out. I'm really excited for this one. So stay tuned, because they've got some really cool big things coming that you guys do not want to miss out on. All right. If you are joining me live, I would love to get your questions answered. Go ahead and drop your Q&A down below. You bring the Q's, I'll bring the A's, and we will get your business to a profitable place through smart social media marketing together by hanging out and learning the algorithms and checking out the platform changes and all the cool things that's going on. And we'll keep you up to date with breaking news on all these things. Kate joined us this week, and she says, thank you. This is great. I have done and have had a ton of collabs lined up on other people's Instagram accounts, but I have no idea what I'm doing with Instagram in general, so this was really helpful. She was commenting on a video where we talked about how to run an Instagram interview, where I broke down exactly how you get guests, how you go live, how you hold your interviews, what do you do after your interviews. There's a whole great video all about how you can get people on screen with you and how you can use it to build up your business and have really great collaboration. So Kate, I'm glad that you joined us. Thanks so much for hanging out. I'm glad that this is helpful to you. Every single Wednesday, we are going live here on YouTube, but we also go live every Thursday at 3 p.m. with our Social Media for Bosses talk show, where every single week we are bringing on special guests. I'm teaching in-depth lessons. There's all sorts of amazing things going on live here on YouTube. So make sure you hit the subscribe and notification bell. You do not want to miss out on these. And of course, you can join us for the Social Media for Bosses podcast every weekend, where I am dropping brand new content for you guys that is totally different than the talk show and different than the videos we're posting on YouTube. So you do not want to miss out on this. Hit the subscribe and notification bell on YouTube here so that you don't miss out. And make sure you're subscribing to the podcast so you get them every single week as we're dropping brand new videos or episodes. We're even talking to people who are making thousands of extra dollars in their business by making one simple change. We're doing a really great case study in the first couple of episodes, so make sure you check that out. You don't want to miss it. Alexis wrote in and said, should I put hashtags in my Instagram stories? Now, this is a very important one because Instagram is a great place to use hashtags. This is where we get found in those explore tabs in the feeds. Hashtags are what get people to come and find us and follow our accounts and then interact with us. And Instagram does let us put hashtags in Instagram stories. Can I get a yes and amen? This is amazing because it does help us to get found. It puts us in the Instagram stories for that hashtag. So if you go to the Explore tab of Instagram and you go over to a hashtag, there will actually be a place where you can see people who have hashtagged things, and they will pick which ones go in there. And so I do use hashtags in a lot of my stories, but here's the trick to it. And this has actually been another video, so make sure you check out those two where I go more in depth on this. You can have a number of hashtags in there. I recommend doing 3. I don't recommend going over 3. 3 is really a very good number for this. And what I do is I type in my 3 hashtags. I put them in a color that blends with the background, and then I make them really, really small. And then I hide it in my Instagram stories. So it's not in people's faces, it's not blatantly there, but it does show up in that explore feed, and people are able to see it when they're searching for that particular type of content. Now, sometimes there are times when I do want a hashtag to be very, very much in somebody's face. If I want them to go post on it, if I want them to repost something I'm doing and use that hashtag, if I want to emphasize something, I will be putting those hashtags a little bit bigger so people can see them. But for the most part, I'm doing it to get noticed. So I'm making them small and blending in. But I would do about 3 within your stories. And I would only do it on the most important stories, because if you're doing 7 slides and all 7 slides have those hashtags in there, Instagram's going to pick maybe one of them to kick out to the Explore feed. It's not going to put all of those out there, and then you might get it at a weird place. So you want to make sure you're doing very relevant hashtags, because Instagram has amazing technology. They're actually looking to make sure the hashtags you're using make sense with your photos in your main feed and in your Instagram stories. So when you're using hashtags, make sure they are relevant, and make sure you're not using like celebrity hashtags, because yeah, that just doesn't work. So you want to make sure that you are using very relevant hashtags, and you're putting them in the most important Instagram stories so that people can see those. And Instagram can then kick that out to people so that they can find you. In fact, the other day, weirdly enough, I hadn't even used a hashtag, but I had said podcast, and I'd been talking about a podcast in that Instagram story. And some like super huge podcast guru saw my Instagram story and like, yeah, tell me about your podcast. Because Instagram has that technology, friends, that they kicked my story out to people because they knew I was talking about a podcast, and this huge big name industry leader saw it and came to hang out with me because of that technology. So when you're using hashtags the right way in Instagram stories, it is a good thing, and you will get noticed. So I do highly recommend it. About 3, and use it on the most important Instagram stories that you've got. Hey, if you're joining me live, I would love to hear from you guys. Drop your social media questions. And if you're on my replay, now is the time to get into the comments and leave me your social media questions. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, IGTV, TikTok. We're going to talk about YouTube, your newsletters, your websites, your blogs, the things that get you noticed on social media. Hit me up. I will save your questions for next week, and I will get those answered for you. And of course, you can join me on my Facebook. You can hit me up at KM Robinson Social on all the social media platforms, because every single week I put out a call for these Ask Me Anythings. So if you've got questions, but you don't have them right this second, you can come over to Facebook and hang out, or you can drop it on this video later, or any of my videos, honestly, so I can get those answered for you, because I want you to create a profitable business through smart social media marketing. And Nando joined us this week over on YouTube, and he said, love this totally winning formula in this video on how to add value, educate, or entertain. Big takeaway, learn your fans' schedule. So Nando, I'm extremely excited that you are here. Thanks so much for hanging out. It is really important when you are creating videos to either educate your people or entertain your people. And if you're not doing that, people are not going to be watching your videos. So that is super important. I'm really glad that you pulled that from our Thrive on Instagram live, when we were talking all about how to do an Instagram live broadcast video here on YouTube. And I love that your big takeaway is to learn your fans' schedules. I actually heard that from so many people this week, because that is really important when you are trying to go live on Instagram. You got to know when people are live, or they're not going to show up to have a conversation with you. So learning their schedules is really important, and Instagram actually gives you the tools to do that. If you guys have not checked out that video all about how to thrive on Instagram Live, this is the one you need to see. It tells you how to find out when your fans are live. All right, almost done, guys. Couple more questions. All right, if you have questions, I would love to get those answered for you. Go ahead and drop those down below. And Scott is here. Scott's here hanging out, saying awesome tips. Thanks. Do you have a strategy for direct message following, building a relationship with potential new followers that fit your niche? Probably on Instagram is where we're chatting about, because we were doing last week's live broadcast. Scott left this afterwards. So Scott, yeah, I do. When it comes to building a following over on social media, specifically on Instagram, you've got to have really genuine connection with people. So follow for follow does not work. I mean, you will get people following you, but it's actually going to hurt your account. Follow for follow is where people go and follow your account, and then they expect you to follow them back. And a lot of times they'll unfollow you once you follow them. That's really scammy. People don't like that, so please don't do that. Follow for follow is just following a string of people, and then they come and follow you. A lot of times they don't care about your content. They're just kind of doing the follow for follow. And that's going to hurt your algorithm standing, because Instagram and all of the social media platforms are looking for you to have genuine interactions. So if these people follow you but don't interact with you, it's going to look like they don't care about your content, which means your algorithm is going to say, oh, that person is not posting content that their fans like. We're not going to show it to people. And then you don't get seen. It's a really bad thing. So follow for follow is not something you should do. DMing is amazing if you're having a genuine conversation. You should not be going to someone's platform and saying, hey, come follow me, or hey, look at the thing that I got, or hey, I can do this for you. You should not be cold DMing them and just kind of like pitching yourself. It's a bad situation. But if you find an account that you like, you should follow them. You should interact with them. You should look at their posts and comment on them. And then when you feel like you have a decent idea of what they do, send them a DM. Just say thanks for your post, or I really appreciated your post, or tell them something related to one of their posts. Have a conversation. Conversations are incredibly important. We actually have videos out about this on our YouTube page. So if you want more on this, hit those up. But it's really, really very important for you to have those conversations on their page about them without you making it about you. Now, if these people like you, they're going to come follow you. They're going to come hang out with you. But you do not want to be begging them. People see that as like a slimy car salesman. You don't want that. They will go around you on the street when they see you. You want to make sure that you are being genuine with them. Now, specific to your niche, I want you to go to the Explore tab on Instagram. Go to the hashtags. And what I want you to do is type in things related to the people who are your ideal client. So remember, if you are a fitness instructor, your people are probably not going to be posting on fitness instructor hashtags. What will they be posting on? Healthy living. They might be doing some of their yoga stuff. They might be doing home decor. They might be doing their specific things. So start looking for these specific things that go with your people. Let's say you're a candle maker. Candle makers are going to be looking for potential clients, not on candle hashtags, but on maybe home decor. Or maybe it is that healthy living. Maybe it's a mommy thing. Maybe it's something else. Where are your clients actually looking? Where are they posting? Where are they hanging out? What are their pictures? You got to get to know your client first. And chances are it's not going to be about you. If you're a life coach or you're a business coach, let's say, you're not going to be looking under course creation and social media tips and like all of these things that you're teaching. You're going to be looking where your clients are. So who are your clients? Are they moms? Look under the mommy hashtags. Are they people who are influencers? Look under influencer hashtags on home decor or on travel or on whatever, and start making those connections. And you want people who will actually work well with your business or who will benefit from your business. So find those people and start following them and start interacting with them. You don't have to follow everybody. That's never going to work. That's not like a thing that you want to do. You do want to be following people you're interested in. And then if you have people who might potentially be clients, go and like a couple of their photos. Leave 2-3 comments on their page. Show up for them, and they might check you out. And if you think it's somebody you would really like to work with, consistently show up. That's when you follow them. That's when you keep showing up on their platform every couple of days. You just leave a nice little comment, give them a nice little shout out, and start building up that relationship. So we've got lots of videos for that here on YouTube. Make sure you check that out. If you've got more questions on how to build a following on social media, I would love to get those answered for you. Mike hung out with us this week and says this is great, especially for those of us that need Instagram expertise. Well, Mike, thanks so much for hanging out. I do appreciate you being here, and I'm glad that you enjoyed our How to Run an Instagram Live interview video here on YouTube. Now, every single week we are live here on YouTube. You can come check us out and ask your questions in real time every single Wednesday, 10 a.m. Eastern, as we are hanging out for 20 minutes getting your questions answered right here live. And if this has been helpful to you, go ahead and click the share button. We would love for people to bring their friends to the party. Let people know that you're here hanging out. We want people to join us live so we can get questions answered in real time and then build your profitable businesses through smart social media marketing. And if you guys need a little bit of help, I got a little something for you. As we're here hanging out, I do want you guys to be going over to our hashtag.kmrobinson.com, where you can get a free copy of A Boss's Guide to Handling Hashtags. Gosh, guys, I was trying to say another name. A Boss's Guide to Handling Hashtags. Free guide for you guys. You can check it out right here, hashtag.kmrobinson.com. I'm telling you the #1 offender that you're almost probably almost 100% likely using that is killing your Instagram account. And I'm going to tell you what to use instead so that you do not miss out on all the goodness that Instagram has for you guys. And we are getting all of your questions answered. And you can come hang out with us over on social media. I would love to hear from you guys. And make sure you hit the subscribe and notification bell. Check out the other videos here. And I will see you guys again next time for a brand new Ask Me Anything here on YouTube Live. I'm Cam Robinson. You can hang out with me at camrobinson.com and Social Media for Bosses. Make sure you hit up the podcast this weekend as we are dropping all of the goodness for you guys. And I will see you next week. And stay tuned because this week on YouTube, we're launching a brand new video on Friday all about how you can do a live Ask Me Anything on Instagram and how that works. We got a couple of tricks and tips up our sleeve, and I think you guys are really going to benefit from this one. And check out our video from yesterday, where we talked all about how you can do interviews on Instagram Live to build your business. I'll see you again soon. Until then, have a great day and stay inspired.